Welcome to Second Take, the show that focuses on the issues behind the news. My weekly editor, Martin Creamer, joins me today to unpack the latest in the mining industry. Welcome, Martin.
Thanks, Ashley.
So since last year, March, the backlog of mineral licenses have been cut by almost 50%.
Yes, last year the Department of Mineral Resources and Energy reported to Parliament that they had 5,000 applications in backlog, and it was horrific, because we were looking for exploration, and along comes this massive backlog. Fortunately, they've just reported now to the same parliamentary committee, and they've cut that by 43.5%, which one would have hoped for 100%, but at least you can see them on the way there. Not only that, but they reported about new capacity that they're putting in to deal with the whole exploration issue and the application issue and the mining renewals issue. And then they spoke of withdrawing their tender for the cadastre because their tender was not clear enough, and even bidders were withdrawing because they couldn't understand it. So they've withdrawn that, which I think is the correct thing to do. They're now collaborating with regional Namibia, Botswana, and they'll probably go elsewhere to see and to learn how well they're using the cadastre system. And I think that is the way to go. Go around and see how it's done well. And then on the basis of that, look for their off-the-shelf solution and hopefully have it in place by February next year. We can hope.
Now, a new policy paper is arguing that as South Africa moves away from coal, investment will be needed not only for renewables, but for the coal mining communities.
Yeah, the Mapungubwe Institute for Strategic Reflections, MISTRA, has made a strong point that included in this financing arrangement for doing the right thing and moving towards renewable energy and green hydrogen, you must look at the coal communities and you must make sure that they are elevated into the new system, and don't ever let that pass you by. So that's a great emphasis from the Mapungubwe Institute, which does a lot of research and has been promoting the advance of South Africa, away from coal-fired power, which is really an old colonial system that we inherited, and which, if we don't move away from it, you've got huge consequences. So it's an error to just look at the coal industry in isolation and say, wow, this has so many jobs. What you do if you continue with just burning that coal, you damage the rest of the economy, because we're part of a globe here. Not only is it the right thing to do to protect Mother Earth, but it is also the right thing for our economy to make sure that when we export wine, when we export aluminium, when we export food, when we export anything, they don't penalize us for being coal-fired, and that we look forward to the situation that instead of being penalized, you earn a green price premium if you go in the right direction, as we see has already started with the aluminium industry. So hopefully the people in South Africa will not just be myopic around coal, and they'll look at not only the broader South African economy and the broader African economy, but the world economy as well. And we see other countries are streaking ahead of us. Namibia, Kenya, Egypt, Morocco, they're all moving ahead. So we need to take the cue from COP27 and do the right thing.
Now, you mentioned Namibia. They are getting a green hydrogen funding boost from the European Investment Bank.
Look how fast that is. You see Hydrogen France and also the European Investment Bank saying we will fund a green hydrogen plant in Swakopmund. That is a fantastic advance, because we know that green hydrogen is going to take some time to come in. But 15 years goes like a flash, and unless you start moving now, you're going to lose out. And Namibia is right at the forefront. We saw them at COP27, and we saw this investment announcement. We see other investment announcements coming through, and although they've got this 2 trillion rand project being studied into feasibility and bankable stage now, they're already talking about additional ones coming through. Whereas we tend to be much slower. Even the approach of Sasol is pretty slow, but we've got little pockets of excellence, and that's around, the Mogalakwena mine, where they don't just talk, they do. And you see a truck already going around on green hydrogen, going through its paces. That is what you've got to do. You've got to show, not say. And so hopefully the penny will drop here, and that those who are just doggedly hanging onto this coal realize that there's a much bigger picture, and that they also go along with it.
Thanks for speaking with us, Martin.
It's a great pleasure, Sashni.
That's it for today. Join us again next week for more news analysis on the local and global mining industries. To subscribe to Creamer Media's Engineering News and Mining Weekly, please email subscriptions at creamermedia.co.za.